This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
I love parades. Double K is in the fold. Special K is in the fold. There's a lot to get to today. Obviously, Kirill Kaprizov, lock, stock, and barrel, in for 8 years. Rocco Baldelli cut loose. PJ Fleck had a lot of controversial things to say. Vikings still wondering what's going to happen with their offensive line. Still some blowback from the Lynx and their sudden departure from the WNBA playoffs. With all those topics to get to, I'm not sure where to begin today. Let's spin the wheel of topics. It's got to land on Kaprizov, right? Biggest story. Is it the biggest story of the year? I think it might be.
Commons.
Golf, I did play today.
What did you shoot today?
80.
Where'd you hit it on one?
Well, first,
where'd we play?
Yeah, thank you. Presswick got Wedgwood and Woodbury.
Where'd you hit it on one?
Oh, right up the gut. My best drive of the day was on the first hole of it.
How far from the green was it?
I had a 9-iron in my hand.
Second shot?
I hit it over the green. I had a wedge, and I hit it over the green.
Then
I thinned it, and I was so bitter. So I'm so tired of this. Couldn't get up and down. Shot 42 on the front, but 38 on the back. And the 42 included, 8, where you have the up on top, force carry over the water. Just hit a terrible drive into the water and made double. So, and then I went on a nice stretch. I parred 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, bogeyed 15 and 16. I three-putted 16. One of the worst three-putts in the history of golf. I thought I saw a huge break. I basically putted 45 degrees left of the hole, and it didn't break at all. And then I parred 17 and 18. So I played really well. And the reason I wanted to talk golf was because that's where I found out about the Kaprizov thing. I was playing with Reasonable Doubt for Reasonable Fee guy and Brett Blakemore. And so we're on the 12th tee box. This is where were you? Tim, you know exactly where you were when you found out Kaprizov signed, right? It was a where were you moment.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was at home.
Yeah, but where at home? I mean, you probably know right where you were standing or sitting or whatever you were doing.
We'll say I was on my couch, yeah.
You were on your couch. You knew exactly. I was on the 12th tee box at Presswick and Wedgwood and Woodbury because all of a sudden, Blakemore goes, whoa! And I didn't know what it was. I mean, I was wondering, well, what happened? Did he just win the lottery, right? He looks at his phone, I go, what?
Did he actually hit a fairway?
Yeah, they actually, brilliant. He looks at, I think he's got he's got a watch that I don't know, alerts him to stuff. Like you can have
Apple Watch?
Yeah, Apple Watch or something. He goes, Kaprizov just signed.
Notifications?
Yeah, he got a notification. Kaprizov just signed an 8-year, 16, whatever it was. And I'm like, that's your wow? And I get it. He loves hockey. He's a huge Wild.
He loves Wild hockey.
Yeah, he loves he loves hockey. He loves the Wild. So I guess he's very excited. Again, I know this. I probably shouldn't admit this. Working at the All Sports Station, particularly when we are the radio home of the audio home of the Minnesota Wild, but my reaction was, because again, we knew it was going to be one or the other sooner or later, right? And I think you summed it up yesterday pretty well, I think. Well, wait, hold on.
Huh?
Yeah. When you said, well, if he wasn't happy here and he wanted to leave, both sides better be working on something instead of just twiddling
It benefits
your thumbs.
both sides for a trade now, before the season starts.
And of course, you said that yesterday, and then today we find out that they agreed to the deal. Now, we're going to re-rack a news conference, right? Because we were during the Flex show when Guerin
Bill Guerin and Kirill together.
Yeah. Did you have a chance to listen to it then?
No,
Okay.
I haven't listened to any of it.
What I really want to know is what changed from before it seemed like a stalemate, nobody was saying anything, and now all of a sudden it was just, nope. Because wasn't it the exact original offer they made?
No, they went up a little bit.
They went up a little bit. Okay.
It was $16 million a year. Looks like they went to $17 million.
Okay, so maybe that was the difference. Maybe they just felt like they needed to get a little bit more. It reminds me of, I don't like to talk about myself or use myself as an example or an analogy, but I'll make an exception here. I've told the tale before when I went in for a contract negotiation, and the coroner's office said, well, here's what we got for it. I said, oh, well, that's a nice starting point. I'd like a little bit more. Well, no, this is what we have for you. Well, yeah, but I mean, I thought, that's nice, but I was hoping for a little bit more. This is what we have. Sign it. Take it or leave it. And I pointed at the top of the email and it says contract negotiation. In other words, there was no negotiation. And maybe that's the way Kirill and his side felt when they said, here we go, $16 million for 8 years. And they went, well, no, we'd like to talk about it a little bit. Well, we got $16 million for 8 years. We make the highest paid player in hockey. Well, we'd like a little more than that or want to talk about it. And so they got a little bit more out of the deal. Maybe that's how it went down. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more when we hear from Billy Guerin and Kirill Kaprizov. I don't know how much they'll dive into the particulars of the contract negotiations. I wouldn't expect them to, but we'll find that out. So, if you are a Wild fan and if you are in the Wild organization and if you own the Wild, you're probably very relieved now because, as we talked about, Tennessee, it's almost if you aren't able to sign him, then you do have to trade him, and then that creates
it's a massive busket.
Yeah, that creates the following of this team, the fandom. Begins to wonder, well, wait now. We finally got a...
You'd be starting over again.
Yeah, we finally got a player that is considered a superstar. We really haven't had one since probably Gaborik, and I don't know if he's on the same level as
he's not.
Kaprizov was. So you finally get a guy like that, and then we can't lock him in. Coming on the heels of the Parise Suter problems that we had there, they never... they're both good players, but they never took us to that place where we thought we might get Skatriots like. And now you're telling me we can't keep in? It wouldn't have been. I don't think it would have been a mass exodus like we've seen with the Twins, with what the way they've handled their business the past couple of years has been a complete and utter disaster. But this certainly would. The fan base certainly would have been and you couldn't blame them if they were like, well, what do you mean you didn't sign him? I'm done with this club, kind of a thing.
It would have been as dejected as the fan base has ever been, because from a team perspective, you've had one and dones for about 13, 14 years.
Correct.
And you mentioned Gaborik, but like this franchise didn't have a star player.
No.
Until Kaprizov came along, it took like 20 years to come, to come along with a superstar, and then to immediately, so it'd just be like a double whammy of you can't get past the first round. And then the one guy who's most likely to ever get you past the first round is now leaving. And in the NHL, like those rebuilds take a while.
They do.
Like it's not the NFL where a year or two later you're back to chance to be on top. Like it's a 5-6 year process a lot of times for a lot of these teams.
Yes,
so,
it
would have been the lowest the fan base has ever been.
Exactly, and so that on top of the fact that, even if the fan base isn't happy, the owners, the team is going to be, the reason the fan base would be unhappy is because the team it'd be pretty close to dire straits. So it's not, he's in the fold. We're happy for him. Are we doing the news conference the other side of the break, or are we waiting until 1:30?
It's a little longer, so I figured we would.
Okay, and we'll do it at 1:30 then. So we'll come back. We'll do a little peek at the purple, and we'll talk a little Vikings. We'll sneak in a couple of other topics. We should get to the Baldelli thing. Remember, Rosen just before 2:00, so we'll get his thoughts on what happened to the Vikings this past weekend. The Gophers, also the Baldelli firing in and the signing of Kaprizov. So there's plenty to get to. Tennessee, is this grand in your hand kind of a time now again?
Yeah, the fan and 2 Men in a Junk Truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword we're at 1:00 now. Enter the keyword credit at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is credit. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
And
Gear up for a hilarious night when Dane Cook returns to the Island Event Center.
Stop it already.
See his legendary style of stand-up comedy live at Treasure Island on Friday, October 24th. Get all the details now at TICasino.com.
I only care about the American League playoffs. I don't care about the National. No, the Milwaukee Brewers, I wanted to do a deep dive in baseball sometime. Not a lot of time today because we got Peek at the Purple here, and then we've got the Guerin Kaprizov news conference. And Rosie, maybe we can talk about with Rosie. But baseball was the sport I loved more than any when I was growing up. And you know what I missed? In the days back in the days, even though when I was really into baseball, there was only a World Series. There was no playoff. You won the American League, you won the National League. The two teams met, right? And the games were all during the daytime. It wasn't a big TV event. It just wasn't. Every game was a day game, because baseball was supposed to be played during the day. I love that right now, Game 1 best of 3 American League Wild Card Series, Detroit at Cleveland, 2 NFC North teams that don't like each other at all. And, Cleveland went on a tear. The Tigers went in the tank. And the next thing you know is Cleveland wins a division, right? But they have to square off against Detroit because they were the 3rd best division winning record, and they face the wild card team with the poorest record. So the 2 teams are playing. I love it. It's daytime. And I just like that it's our division. I like, Detroit and Cleveland, a couple of blue collar towns. The other one is it's Boston and the Yankees, I think, who are arch rivals. One of the biggest baseball rivalries ever, maybe the biggest baseball rivalry of all time. So I'm interested in those 2 series. And Milwaukee is a nice story. They are sort of, I wouldn't say a mirror image of the Twin Cities. I think the Twin Cities is Milwaukee's a little bit more blue collar, I think, but small market tend to be. Yeah, they're not a huge payroll, but they find a way to win games. Do they have the best record in Major League Baseball? I think American and National, they have the best record in baseball. That's a team that blends some pitching with defense and speed and some hitting. They've put together a really nice team over there. So
97-65, best record in baseball.
So I kind of like the Milwaukee Brewers, but we'll see how that pans out.
I just like their logo and their color scheme.
That's nice too. The Peak of the Purple is brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. They're looking for apprentice and a journeyman electrician again. Their business is good, and they need to hire some people. You get a competitive pay. Health benefits. You get a simple plan with a 3% match. I mean, it's a great place to work. And so if you are looking for employment as either an apprentice or a journeyman electrician, affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. And remember, at Affordable Electric, they are what we like to tell you. They are shockingly affordable is what they are. I guess the Vikings got the best news possible with Brian O'Neill. It's an MCL sprain, apparently, which leaves him week to week. When we first heard MCL, even the coach, I think, after the game said, well, they're talking MCL, the training staff, and that was it. No sprain, tear, whatever. And so we weren't sure, and I was beginning to... I'm one of those guys, I always think the worst. You prepare yourself for the worst, but yet it looks like a sprain. So he's probably week to week. Van Ginkel Gink has a lingering neck injury. He's not going to play. And did I see where McCarthy is going to start ramping up now?
Yes, but not playing.
But not playing. But he is ramping up. So that's kind of the injury situation. The Vikings take on the Browns. I did a deep dive on the Browns this past Sunday. That's who the Kitties play. Their defense is very good. They even though the Lions scored points, they scored 34. 7 of those were on a punt return. But they had to work hard for all of their yards and the points. It was funny. I think we talked about this. The new offensive coordinator for Detroit, John Morton. He was kind of cocking off at a news conference. He said, "Well," he goes. He was asked by the media, or the media was saying, "Hey, you know what? Cleveland's got the best run defense in the NFL." And then Morton said, "Well, they've not faced a running game like ours." And then, of course, Myles Garrett said, "Well, they haven't faced a run-stopping unit like ours." The Lions won, and Gibbs was good, and Monty was just okay. So I don't even know what the numbers were, but it was certainly tough sledding. And I don't know how that bodes for the Vikings. Their running game hasn't been really sharp. That's a really good defense, and now the Cleveland's offense is archaic. I mean, it just is. It's like Flacco, God love him. I don't know why he still wants to play. Maybe the money's good, or maybe his wife's still mad when he said, if on week 2, the season after he won the big game, if my wife goes into labor, I got to be with the guys. She's going to have to do it on her own. I got to be there for week 2. I said, give me a break. So maybe she's still bitter about that and doesn't want him around the house. Again, last week I said I thought, Steelers are a pretty good club. I think it'll be a close game. I think the Vikings will win. Well, it was a close game, and it became close anyways. And the Vikings ended up losing. This one is a coin flip again, I think. And if the Vikings don't, they're going to need to. They got to figure out a way to run the ball a little bit and provide pass protection for Wentz. Or I think it could be a carbon copy of what we saw offensively for the Vikings.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of these games overseas typically aren't the most aesthetically pleasing for some reason, whatever reason that is. And now I'm guessing with the combination of Cleveland's defense against our offense and our defense against their offense, I don't think a lot of points are going to be scored this one. I think the first team that scores a touchdown win. This is going to be one of those like 13-9 type games.
Yeah, I tend to agree. and you know me, I don't mind a 10-3 game if it's just brilliant defense. The offense is actually pretty good, but they just can't get anything going. When it's a combination of really good defense and bad offense, that's not as pleasing to the eye. But I tend to agree with you. I don't think we're going to see a 40-40 tie like we saw with Green Bay and Dallas. And what happened there, by the way? I mean, that's why it's so difficult to not only predict NFL games from week to week, or it's hard to even know if the team, they seem like they're really good defensively or they seem like they're really good offensively. And then, they shut down Detroit week 1. They only surrendered, 10 points to their 13 points to the Browns? Did they lose 13-10? I think they lost 13-10 to the Browns because they were up 10-0. I think it ended up being 13-10.
Yes.
And who did the Pack play in game 2? Washington, right?
Yeah.
And they basically handled them. They handled them. They give up 40 points to Dallas. And I know Dallas has some weapons, but they were without their best weapon. And they were without CD Lamb. You're right. They were without Lamb.
Now Pickens is brilliant.
Yeah, he was really good. He had a drop or two, but he also had a couple outstanding catches too.
I think it's very fashionable to hate on Dak. I think Dak is a quality quarterback.
I agree.
And he kind of had a year or two lean years where he had a really severe, was it an Achilles injury or some ankle or foot injury that was really bad? And I felt like that kind of sapped his athleticism for a while, because part of his game was he could run a little bit. And I feel like he's been very statuesque in previous seasons, but he's able to be a little bit more mobile. I think he's just playing at another level this year. Dallas is one of those teams where their offense is good enough to keep them in any game they play. Their defense is bad enough they can lose to anybody. Yeah. They can lose to the worst team in the league because their defense is so bad.
Yeah. So, but certainly Green Bay gave up 40 points to Dallas, which I found kind of surprising. So you just can't tell from week to week. But I would think, I would tend to agree with you. Put it this way: if the Vikings Browns ends up being 40-34, I'll leave town. I think it'll be low scoring as well.
I would be surprised.
Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable. And by the way, today's the last day to take advantage of the $7,500 tax rebate for EVs, and they'll install a 240 volt in your a plug-in into your garage. So affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. One last quick text message to fit in before we go to the Guerin Kaprizov news conference that happened about an hour or so ago. It says, Dan, so glad the Wheel of Topic landed on Commons golf game. Just want you to know I care. By the way, can you congratulate the Jolly Green Giant on the Wild signing Kaprizov? And I'd like to do that today. Congratulations on the Wild signing Kaprizov. We'll break. We'll come back. Listen to Kaprizov and Bill Guerin address the media after the big signing today. 8 years. How many million a year?
17 a year. I think 138 million.
And we'll do that next. Common Man program by the Fan.
Comedians Hassan Minaj and Ronnie Cheng hate each other.
No, they don't like
and
each
they're
other.
taken in public.
Oh, no.
Catch Hassan hates Ronnie, Ronnie hates Hassan at the Orpheum Theater Saturday, November 1st. Two comedy legends, one epic roast battle. Get the full details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Hey, should be a couple of 13-14 past Common Man program. The legendary Mark Rosen will join us just before 2 o'clock. Tenemy, is this for today, or did I leave this for yesterday? A ticket giveaway? So we're going to give away another pair of tickets later on today. Don't call now, but later, St. Thomas will host North Dakota at Grand Casino Arena on October 12th. We'll give away tickets to that a little bit later on. Wild today signed Kirill Kaprizov, 8-year, $136 million contract worth $17 million a year. I know they needed to do it. I'll say one more time. If I would have been the player or the team, I would have wanted to go about half that on the years, just because if you're the team and all of a sudden he becomes injury riddled, you're stuck. If you're the player and all of a sudden you get even better, what if all of a sudden in 4 years your contract is one of the I'm exaggerating when I say one of the smallest in the NHL, but the prices could go up. But they both agreed. Everybody's happy. Let's find out more. Bill Guerin, the GM, and Kirill Kaprizov, the player, they spoke to the media just over an hour ago, I believe, hour and a half.
Yeah, we're extremely excited about this. I mean, it's been, like I've said before, it's been a long process, and that's not unusual. These things take time, and good things come to those who wait. And we waited. We went through the process, and today's a really great day for Kirill and his family, and the Minnesota Wild, the state of hockey, and all of our fans. So we're really excited about it. Congratulations to Kirill.
Thank you.
9 years.
Yeah, 9
Wow,
years.
you're gonna be able to put up with me?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for organization and Billy and whole team. Today anymore, I was a little nervous, but I'm so happy to stay 9 more years here, and it's like I say before, it's my second home. I'm happy to play here and enjoy time all the time. All the time, see you guys, everyone, and just happy, and all my family happy too, and just can't wait when season starts. That's it.
Sigh of relief, Billy, to finally now we can stop bothering you about this.
Yeah, you guys can stop asking the most obvious question in the world. No, it's yeah. I mean, we never wanted to even entertain Kirill not being here, and honestly, we've worked. Everybody in this organization has worked extremely hard the last bunch of years to get to where we are today. Kirill's been a big part of growing and building this team. If it went the other way, it would have been devastating. So it's not. Yeah, I mean, it didn't happen, so we're relieved about that, but we're just happy. I think everybody's. It even looked like the guys on the ice today. There was a little extra jump in everybody's step. I know all his teammates are very excited. He's a very popular guy in the team, and everybody knows what he means to the team. So this is, it's good. It's good to get it behind us, and like he said, excited for the season, and just let's play hockey.
Bill, what changed just to get this done? Is it just simply upping the offer, or how did it just come across the finish line?
No, I mean, I'm sure that didn't hurt. But you know what? Hey, look, this is a big decision for Kirill, and this is we talked about it. It's a big commitment from him. It's a long time. He expressed this is, we're talking about the rest of his career, and that's not a small decision. Even, I think most people just look at the money and say, oh, it's an easy decision. It's not. It's not an easy decision because, no matter how much money you make or where you live or anything, if the hockey's not good, you won't be happy. And, that's the one thing I love about Kirill is that he's so focused on the hockey part. He just wanted to make sure that he was doing the right thing for himself and his happiness.
Kirill, do you feel a lot of pressure with a contract like this that puts you on the face and all those things? Does that come with this?
No, I don't feel right now, but sometimes it's happened. It's always you always sometimes feel pressure when you play some bad games or stuff like this. But it can happen. But I like sometimes pressure. It's try to be keeping going, more practicing and playing more harder, and just help your team. But now I don't feel pressure. No.
Along that same line, are you happy that this is over with now?
Yeah.
You said 2 weeks ago you just want to play hockey. Now you really can.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Yeah. Of course, I'm happy.
Is there some relief? Is there some relief that it's behind you?
Of course, yeah. It's like you say. It's just don't need to think about something and come every day, because before I can say I don't feel nothing no pressure like when I came in the ring, but it's always happened. Everyone talk about this. You guys talking and guys in locker room you can see like sometimes some players can think about it and you can feel this, but now it's just all done, and we just start playing and don't think about this.
Well, what ultimately made you come to this decision? What was important for you in this process to decide to stay here for this long?
It's how Billy said too. We talk it because it's long, so many years, and I'm not that too young, and it's probably like my last contract in hockey. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's 37.
Maybe one more.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe
Not 8 years though.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. But it's long term, and it's just I think a lot about this, and I talk with my family and close guys to me, and I talk with Billy about this too, and in the end I just feel it's great things what we did now.
How do you celebrate this? How do you
Play game tonight.
no new boat, no new car, anything?
No.
Nothing?
Come on.
We have very different ways of celebrating.
Oh, we'll see.
You mentioned your family. How excited were you to share this with them, and what was their reaction when you were able to say that it was family time?
Yeah, I called to my family today in the morning and yesterday at night, because it's a little hard to talk with my family because 12 hours change and you just go in bed, and parents wake up there, and same you go to the rink and you start practicing like 9, or you wake up 7, you just talk 10 minutes, and then you don't have time because you have to practice, everyone's sleeping. And we have a day off yesterday, and I talk a lot with family, and family just excited, and family always want to be happy, especially like for the son. But if I'm happy, parents happy, you know. And it's right now like this, and yeah. My family love Minnesota too. It's just
this is obviously a big piece, but how important is it now to continue to build around Krill so this thing gets moving toward the championship?
Yeah, I mean that's the idea. It doesn't stop here, you know, and you know that's something that we talked about. It's the we want to win. We want to do the things that you have to do in order to win. So, you know, somewhere down the line, start to add pieces or change where necessary or whatever, but start being more. We haven't been able to like be in the game because of our cap situation, but now that's passed, and you know we have good flexibility with our cap situation now. You know we have a lot of different type assets that we can utilize, but I mean, like I said, we talked about this. We are both here because we want to win. He plays this game, and I do my job because we want to win, and we want to be able to compete for championships. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, we've done a lot of growing over the last 5-6 years, but we'd like to take another step or two if we could.
How much does it help to have a guy of his stature commit for 8 years when you're looking to add free agents in the next couple of years? It certainly gives your club here some wings, but it also gives you the opportunity to say, this guy committed us for 8 years, so now maybe we can get you here.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Honestly, it really is. And great players want to play with great players. So when you have a guy like Krill on the team, it definitely is an attraction because you get to play with somebody special. And that's another reason he keeps, when he decides to stay here, we keep that. It's very much a different story if they decide to leave. And so yeah, absolutely. I mean, playing with great players is what people want to do.
Phil, was there a moment or a game or something over the last 4 or 5 years when it clicked for you that you could be at a position like this, just how special of a player Krill is? Was there something that just stood out at some point? Do you remember, I guess, a moment?
No, he hasn't done much.
Or a play?
No, honestly, No, I mean he's been great since day one. I mean since scoring that goal in LA, the very first game. I mean we're like, oh okay, you know this kid gets it, and then he just keeps getting better and better. And I think before he got hurt last year, the pace that he was on, the way he was playing, that was a big eye opener to how good he really is, because he was playing with, he put himself in a different category last year. I felt it was unfortunate that he got injured, but it's there's been a lot of things that you see, and then to be, honestly, like on that, like his playoffs last year were great, and that's the most important time.
Harold, would you think, like when you first came here from Russia, and you don't know many people, your English isn't like what it is now, would you have ever expect, like if you knew then what you know now and what you're signing today, like what would you have thought?
I don't know. When I came here, I don't know. I'm a guy like this who's like, don't try to think too much over and over. I just like to live today, and do right things. And I don't know. It's great. It's sometimes you watch like old guys, like say Crosby or Ovechkin or whatever, guys stay in the same team all the time, all career, and it's pretty fun, don't change so many teams, and just play for one team. And especially when I came here, it's Minnesota always helped me and so much, wherever, like in outside of hockey and in the life and in hockey, and I just happy, to keep doing what we do and just winning here, and I hope for sure, I believe one day it's coming and we take it.
Hartsey said that there was a standing ovation in the room. Are you ready for the crowd to do that during the preseason game tonight as well?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
I think Marcus said that you're buying dinners too. Is that coming up?
Of course. Every road trip.
You said that winning's most important, and you said one day it'll come. Like, what do you like about the team's building that believe it'll happen, or that give you confidence that the team is building the championship team you want to be on?
One more, sorry, like...
You said one day it'll come, like the winning. What do you like? What gives you confidence about the team that's being built?
I feel like every year, especially last year, I feel like we talked before with you guys about this. I feel we have so nice playoff, but we lose in first round. I know it's always tough, but we play better than other years, and we just do try right things, and we talk with Billy a lot about this too, and we just focus on the game, and we'll see.
Bill mentioned it. How much of your decision to commit for 8 more years is believing that the organization is going in the direction to win a Stanley Cup? How much of the decision?
How much? Oh yeah.
It's not just about the money.
Yeah.
It's about believing that a Stanley Cup could come. How much went into that?
How much? What do you mean?
Like, was it?
It
wasn't just the money. It was that you believe that we can win, and how much?
This is why,
like 50-50 or 70?
No. This is no. 50-50.
Was that also part of the decision?
Yeah, of course. It's how I say we have great talk with Billy, and we always talk about this, and we always talk about winning, and we both want to do this, and all team want to, all players want to in the team just win games and playoff series. But and I believe I can see we can do.
Bill, do you ask him to be a bigger voice in the locker room? Does leadership come with this? Do you say you got to command that, or is that are they separate, independent things?
No, he's the leader no matter what. It's, you know what? Look at, I think Foligno talks for everybody.
Yeah.
So he doesn't. You know what? Spurgey leads in his own way. Moose leads in his own way, and Kirill leads in his own way. I said, to me, he's very much like Sidney Crosby in the way that he trains, the way that he lives his life, the way he practices, the way he competes in the games. those are the real driving forces that he brings to the table, and that just rubs off on the entire organization. You know what? He doesn't need to say a word. He doesn't need to give big rah-rah speeches. His leadership is on the ice, in the gym, how he carries himself, all those things, and then people, it's infectious. And even with some of the younger players that we have in the room, they see the way a superstar conducts himself, and the good habits that he has. To me, that's real leadership, and he provides that for us every day.
Bill, I got a question for you. You've been around for a lot of deals and contracts over the years. Do you feel like this is the most important one that the Wild has seen?
Yes. Yes, very much so. Listen, all of our players are important. All the contracts are important. Hockey is very much a team sport. We have 20 guys out there battling every night. You can't play the whole game. So they need each other, and they're all important. This one is it's big because Kirill is our franchise player, and keeping him was extremely important. There's a lot more to it, than maybe some of the other ones, but it doesn't mean they're not important. So, but yeah, this was a big one. This is the biggest one in franchise history for sure.
Kirill, I know you don't worry about injuries. Like, do you see like a Barkov injury like in practice and say like, good to have security, or not to worry about the risk and stuff like that?
No, I don't think about this, but it's bad for Sasha. But I hope he gets better soon. But I know it's tough.
Kirill, when you talk about talking to your family, is there one person, your father or brother or somebody like that you kind of go to with these decisions? Who do you seek out advice from, I guess?
You mean like decision what about contract?
When you say you're talking to your family, is there someone that you look to for advice or you look to for guidance when you make a decision like this?
It's just my family don't tell me a lot like what I need to do, but I just more like ask some questions, and my family just want to be, like I say, just family want to be happy. Family love to watch how I play in hockey, how my team winning games, and it's just don't tell me like do this or do that. It's never happened. It's my father tell me like when I was 10 years old or 14 years old. Now I'm 28 already, and I can do my things what I want, and just family wanna happy for me and tell me, you love Minnesota, you love play here, and just enjoy. That's it.
So Kirill will be playing hockey here in Minnesota for the next 8 years, as long as he stays healthy.
Better than playing hooky.
Quickly, baseball at its best right now. 2-1. Detroit leads Cleveland going to the bottom of the seventh. First game of the American League Wild Card Series, best of 3. You know how the Tigers just scored the go-ahead run? Sacrifice bunt. I just love real baseball. Gaddis came in with runners at the corners, gassed somebody to get to 1 out. They're probably hoping for a double play. Detroit says, for the game that is low scoring as this and Skubal's still on the mound, I don't think they've replaced him yet, we're going to lay down a bunt here. Just love it. So Detroit leads 2-1, game 1. Mark Rosen joins us next, Common Man program on The Fan.